Hello and welcome to the Inner Gamer On. My name is Brett Yanoski.
And I'm Austin Morales.
And this is Austin Morales.
And I am the Austin Morales.
So today we're going to be talking about the game-changing features of Battlefield 5. Last week we had Battlefield 5's reveal trailer come out. It was very much more personal in the way that it presented itself at the onset. Showed a lot of features that were kind of hidden nuggets inside the trailer, and ultimately what we found out towards the end of the trailer was that this was actually like gameplay footage of one of their co-op gameplay modes. So first thoughts, trailer, Austin, what did you think of it?
At first I was a little lackluster about it until I started diving into what was actually in the trailer, what it all meant, the new features that are going to be available, and learning about more of the new multiplayer game modes. I'm a little more excited. It obviously it wasn't a traditional trailer. It was more of like gameplay footage, which is fine, and it felt more like Bad Company in a way. Like certain tones of it had this vibe of Bad Company, which is kind of nice to kind of change up the traditional World War II. What we know, our perception of World War II in a video game. So I'm actually kind of excited more so than I was on the onset of the actual release. So
Yeah, I am too as well, because like when I first saw the trailer, I felt like,
what is this?
you know, last year
What are we watching?
when Call of Duty's trailer came out, it was like, what is this nonsense? And then when Battlefield's trailer came out, we're like, yes, Battlefield is king.
Right.
And this year, I felt like both. I mean, like Call of Duty's trailers are just Call of Duty's trailers,
Right.
But I feel like
It's talking
this
about Modern
Battlefield
Warfare,
trailer,
by the way, or not Modern Warfare,
talking about,
Infinite Warfare.
No, I'm talking about Black Ops 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're talking about last year. You said last year.
I was last year. Now I'm talking about now this year.
I was clarifying.
Black Ops 4 came out and dropped their
Infinite.
trailers, and they
Right.
were just Call of Duty again. Like same kind of trailers, except they did introduce the Battle Royale mode and stuff like that. But the trailers still look like
Yes.
Battle or Call of Duty trailers.
Right.
And then with Battlefield 1, I actually felt like it almost looked like a Call of Duty multiplayer trailer at first. A little bit with the high intensity action, the higher frame rate kind of
That's interesting.
speed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I
see it
saw
now.
hints of that.
So we just watched it, and I see that now. I see what you're saying. At first, I was like, "What are you talking about, Call of Duty? Like total Battlefield all the way."
Yeah.
Like, but you hit, yeah.
But then as it went on, it opened up and expanded the world more, and you could see the planes coming in. You could see like the air raids. You could see the fast paced action and intensity. And like, what's so cool about Battlefield is the vehicular combat and the explosions and the sounds, and like, I mean, their sounds are so good. The sound design's fantastic, and this one, it definitely feels like it's no exception for sure.
Oh yeah.
And they had a hint. One thing that I thought was weird about the trailer is like they had a subtle hint of the Battlefield theme music in there, in the background. But don't you feel like they should have like exaggerated that a little bit more? Because there was a point where it showed up, like you could barely hear it for about 2 seconds, and then it was gone.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't
exactly.
remember that.
Yeah, and it's like.
I mean, yeah. Every trailer I think Battlefield has released has always had the traditional theme beat to it.
Yeah,
and it'd been nice to kind of like
the dun 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 from the White Stripes, which is really awesome.
No, but even in that, like they even kind of have the like dun 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 dun. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I kind of wish they at least would have put that at the end or something. Like led up to that, like just to know like this is a Battlefield trailer. Anyway,
yeah. So let's talk about some of the game modes. So there's a lot of the thing that we want to talk about in this discussion is the way that they're trying to change the game, because previously we talked about Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and they're adding Battle Royale and they're doing zombies again. They're getting rid of single player and stuff like that. Battlefield is not getting rid of single player. They're bringing the war stories back, and they're going to focus on the lesser known areas of the campaign. So they're going to go to places like Greece and Norway and really explore things that people don't know about. We're not going to see D-Day landing. We're not going to see,
which is interesting, because you think at this point we've covered World War II in many video games. You think we would have covered it all by now?
Yeah,
like so many games. I don't even know. Like, I mean, it's got to be. I don't know. I can't even put a number to it.
Yeah. But we haven't, which is crazy. Like, there's still more to explore. And like, I mean, some people are wondering, like, why are we going back to World War II? Like, I wish we were going back to the Modern Warfare setting again. But I'm okay with this because I think Battlefield, like, I liked 1942 still was like fantastic, and it was so good and so well done. And we haven't seen them revisit that era except for Battlefield 1943, which just brought out like 3 maps, and that was it. So this is a reinvent. Like this is what the DICE team who made 1942 can do now in this era of gaming, and we're gonna see how that kind of plays out.
It's nice to go back to these things, but at the same time, I mean, we're just talking about this. I still think Battlefield 4 is like one of the best Battlefields to date, and I miss having the privilege of having like all these automatic weapons with all these attachments and like customizing my kit to be like perfect to my playstyle. And I feel like Battlefield 1 lacks that. Like there's certain things in Battlefield 1 it's just like, you wouldn't have this issue if it was in current days, you know. Golden World War II is going to help a little bit, but I feel like it's not going to help completely. And, you know, when Battlefield first started this journey through time of war, like back then, like you didn't have too many of these modern games, and now we do, or this take place in modern times. So going back is, I feel like a semi-handicap. Now that's debatable, I'm sure, by many people, but for me, I feel like I wish we could just go back to modern times. But if we're gonna do kind of these weird off the, not I don't want to say off the rails, but like, you know, we're not going down the beaten path. Maybe it gives Battlefield 5 some leeway to put some like more modern things into it than it would rather not be able to. Yeah. So
let's jump into the game modes for a little bit. So we didn't mention this earlier, but the game comes out October 16, 2018. So it's going to be out in October, and they're going to have Conquest again. That's going to be there, but they're bringing some other twist into the realm. So we have what's called Combined Arms, which is their 4-player cooperative game, which is going to be these dynamic stories that is what you saw in the trailer. So when you look at that trailer, that was the Combined Arms mode, I believe, because it's multiplayer. It's got these what feels like story bits when that guy came up to you and was like looking down at you, and then your friend came over and like knocked him in the head. I don't know if that's gonna be part of a cinematic or something that's like integrated into the story,
right,
or what it's gonna be. But the Combined Arms is interesting because it reminds me of like, you know, the Horde mode kind of stuff, but it's more it's driven. It's like more directed.
Right. It feels like an actual Battlefield. At least that's what it seems like. It seems like a lot more is going on than a typical, you know, a wave of people come at you and you try to kill them, which would be really cool. Like it'd be nice if the AI is at least smart enough to like, here's your objective, now just get there any way you can, you know?
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see how dynamic that gameplay is actually going to be.
Yeah.
Opposed to just sit there.
Right. And then they also have, I'm going to pick this up a little bit so I can read my notes here better.
Should do it.
They also have Grand Operations, which is going to be their massive multi-match engagements that are going to have multi-day battles with 64 players. So they have the Operations now, which is set up that same kind of way where you have different tiers, like levels that you stage up. So like if you're attacking, you're pushing forward. If you're defending, you're trying to push back. And it's like a tug of war kind of thing. Well, this is going to be that same way, but it's like there's going to be different in-game days that take place during these transitions. And then at certain points, it could end up with what is called their last stand mode, which is a sudden death, where everybody in there has one life.
Sudden death.
And they all
Battle
fight
Royale,
each other.
damn it. It's Battle Royale.
Yeah.
It's a semi-Battle Royale, I guess.
Yeah.
We have yet to actually get our hands on that. So I think that's cool. I think it's an interesting take. If it is a Battle Royale-esque game bit, it'd be nice that it is not like a thing. It is part of the whole, you know, opposed to Call of Duty going full Battle Royale for one mode. I think that could really change things up a little bit. It is something to look forward to. I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to actually jumping into Grand Operations and getting to the end and being like, oh shit, okay, last stand, let's do this.
Yeah, well,
Battle Royale.
Like, I wonder how long it's going to take, because it sounds like these are like several hour games that like you have to stick in with, which is that's a lot of time commitment for a
I think I read
game.
it's going to be like an hour and a half type
I think so.
Adventure that you get into, like, you know, this is going to take a while, which is cool. I mean, it's just something. I mean, you have certain objectives that you try to hit, and then after that 1 hour, you know, you either like get there or not.
So they also have there's gonna be a lot of customization in this game. So we have things like so one thing that they did come out and say, there will be no battle pass, no premium pass. That's been nixed. All the content's gonna be free. And they also said there's gonna be no loot boxes. So what I'm wondering is where
there's gonna be microtransactions in this.
financial thing's gonna come in, because
No doubt.
how is that going to work out? Because one of the things that they added to this that's going to keep people playing the game is what's called Tide of War, which Tide of War is a ongoing service that is going to be akin to, I think most akin to like Fortnite, where you like log in every day and you get like daily missions you have to complete, and by completing those missions you unlock things. You unlock like special skins and stuff like that, so it encourages you to keep returning to the game to get special skins, weapons, and things of that nature. So like everything in the game has a customizable feature to it, component to it. So like a tank, you can get unlocked skins for a tank so that your tank will look different than other people's, but it's still gonna be within the realm of what's real to that kind of that generation, that timeline. So it's not going to be like you're going to have a pink tank run around. It'll still be very relevant to what's happening, but you can customize your stuff to look a little bit different. So that's cool.
I'm thinking it's going to be like, because they say you're going to be able to earn in-game rewards such as like, tags, dog tags, and cosmetic accessories. But I feel like it's going to be kind of like Pokemon Go in the sense that you're going to have these daily quests or daily bounties that you'll get and you can complete to earn end game whatever, and then you'll have weekly and monthly stuff, which is going to take kind of like Fortnite, the way kind of Fortnite does it for Battle Pass. Like you can go in there and rack up these points and start getting stuff along the way. And then if you want to speed that up, I'm sure they're going to have microtransactions where you can buy in-game, whatever in-game currency they have to unlock some of the stuff. I kind of do see them kind of following around the Fortnite, the way Fortnite has their microtransactions set up. It just kind of makes sense, Yeah. I mean, it's all based on cosmetic stuff, which is great. Like, I'm glad it's not pay to play, like Battlefront was.
Well, so did you read up on the archetype stuff that they have in the game, or like so they have the 4 classes like normal. You have your engineer, you have your support, you have all that stuff, and each one of those classes. And something else that I want to throw in there too is like squads now are really important. Like you cannot join a game now without being a squad. You can't be a lone wolf anymore. You're forced into being a part of a squad, and each one of those squads has very important components, such as anybody can pick up and heal your friend. So like if your buddy's down, you can pick them up, but you can only pick them up to like say 33% health, and then only a medic can revive you to full health. And then same with support. Like whenever you drop into the game, you're going to be limited in ammunition and limited in resources more than you are in a normal game. So you have to rely on your teammates to supply you with ammo, supply you with medic help, those kinds of things to progress through the game,
which is really going to help in the last stand part of the Grand Operations, which is Battle Royale part. So I don't know how that's going to work out, because it's supposed to be a free for all. Like everyone's supposed to be able to fight each other, but you want to be in your squad that you're going to. I assume you're a part of the squad that you've been in the whole way through that point, and at some point you're going to turn your teammates. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's still going to be.
It says last man standing. It doesn't say last squad standing.
Huh.
It says last man standing. So I assume you want to be in a team up to a certain point.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily true, because obviously in Fortnite and PUBG, you can have up to 4 players. So
yeah.
I don't know how it's going to work out.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see more about what that mode entails, because I read it as if it was like it's just the last group that's left. Like you fight to the death, but like if you're on the same team, like your team wins and that's it. Kind of like the stand. Yeah, like if you're in squad, it's like you win as a squad,
right?
And get your like chicken dinner thing.
Yeah, if it is battle royale, that doesn't make sense. How it would be like squad against squad against squad. I mean, how many amount of squads against each other?
Yeah, when
some of them are in the same team, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so, exactly. I mean, it's like, I'm curious. Why would you kill your teammate?
Right.
Like, that doesn't work. But
then it just becomes a death match, like a last stand death match.
Yeah,
team death match. That's what it becomes, like a giant death match.
Yeah,
which defeats the purpose of battle royale. I don't know. I heard that this is supposed to be their semi battle royale portion of the game, which I guess it may or may not be battle royale.
Yeah,
I don't know. I hope it is. I don't know about you.
I know they're researching battle royale, but from what I understand, this game isn't going to come with any battle royale component.
I gotcha.
So like they said that this at release there will be no battle royale in Battlefield 5, but they are looking at ways to incorporate it into future stuff. So this could be like their early like test bed maybe of like what could eventually become like a full like battle royale mode or something like that potentially. But I don't know exactly, but anyway. So back to the archetype. So
My bad.
you have your different classes you follow into, and it's designed to where you play what you like. So if you really like the assault class, you work on the assault class, you upgrade, unlock stuff in the assault class, and you can also pick these archetypes, these pathways that you go down. So maybe you're like an anti-tank support, so you want to really focus heavily on that. So you can build out your character to follow suit with that, and then unlock things specific to that play style. So these are different abilities you can do that will allow you to really. It's not going to be just like having 4 classes. Like you can build a very customized company or a team, squad that will have a lot more flexibility in gameplay styles and stuff like that, because like they had a little bit of that in Battlefield 1, because like if you're playing a medic or whatever, like you could be a heal medic, or you could be a medic that also can do damage against like armor and stuff like that. So you had that flexibility there, but you didn't have to go one way or the other. But it was just like a created class kind of thing. But this can be much more specific. So you could just go down one tier and have so many other things to unlock, as opposed to just unlocking 4 sets of pathways. Now there's like branching pathways you can go through,
which is gonna be cool because it gives you more stuff to work for too, and then it allows you to be. For me, I like to be fit for any situation, and I try to make my class like that, whatever it is. But to know, I wonder how that's gonna work out. Like you have to go down a certain path, possibly, where it's like you have to fit this role.
I mean, I think you can switch, but it's just like, you know, it's a kind of a situation where like, do you want to switch to something else where you're starting from zero, or do you want to keep pushing down this path that you've kind of formed for yourself to get the best of the best in that direction? But yeah, they haven't talked much about that other than like it's archetypes and it's got more flexibility in how you can like build out your loadout.
Lots of speculation.
Yeah, lots of speculation. But what's not speculation is something that they did mention, which is there's a lot of destruction in this game. Like lots of things you can blow up. You can, as you saw in the trailer, you can, as a player, use your guns to shoot through buildings, and then your bullets will pierce through and potentially hit people. And you can even like destroy the entire sets of buildings can be like toppled over, but you can also build fortifications on top of those, which are, I thought they were kind of like Fortnite-esque, where you can just like build shit anywhere, but they are designated locations where you can build items. So you can build like a building got toppled down and it's nothing but rubble. Well, you can build sandbag defenses around it and then set up machine gun placements and kind of create your own encampment. So like a damaged world does not have to be fully damaged anymore.
So on that, I'll mention this. So part of this whole thing, which I'm going to get into the whole tactical aspect, which I think is immensely huge for this game particularly, and I'll say why in a second, but you're going to spawn in with lower resources on any of the game maps, or game types. So that means like that's why squad play is so huge. Like you're not going to have a lot of ammo, you're not going to have a lot of health. I'm sure no one's going to have any kind of health besides the medic. So like you want to be in these teams so you can continue to have ammo. Otherwise, you have to pick up ammo from dead bodies, and that creates a mini skirmish area. Because if you kill somebody, you want to go get them. I assume teammates can pick up ammo from their fallen comrades as well. So like as the game plays out, like you're running out of ammo quickly, it seems like. So you're going to want to kill people.
Well, they said when
grab
you
their ammo.
You have enough to maybe do like 2 or 3 kills, and that's about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have
weird.
Right.
Really
but
weird.
I mean, you're going to pick up that ammo from the people you kill. So it's potential that people can use other people's dead body as a point of, I don't know, contact. This is what the word comes to mind. So that's going to be interesting with that. And so now everything becomes more tactical, more dynamic. You have to really think about how you're going to traverse the battlefield, what how you're going to maneuver around certain objectives. Are you going to engage? Maybe you're going to engage less than you would before,
Right.
I think that's usually if I saw someone, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to shoot them,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to die anyway in a few seconds. So
Well, that's one thing that like Battlefield has always had the squad play. And if you have a group of friends to play with, like squad play is such a crucial component of that. And you can usually like wreck shop. Like Battlefield 2, I remember when we used to play that and we had a 4-man squad, like we would always be the top tier of the game. But if you're playing with like public players, that doesn't ever happen. Like you can't get that community, that collaboration happening. So I'm really hoping that they're pushing further and further to like emphasize the needs to do that. Cause like you're getting point bonuses if you're playing squad, playing the objective and stuff like that. You're getting point bonuses if you heal or, provide the ammo and all that stuff. And there's just so many more ways to get additional points and score upgrades by being in the squad. And now that you're forced to do it, like that's exciting too. So I'm hoping that people actually work together and not just run off on their own.
I mean, so they say there's going to be incentives for squad leaders and there's going to be awards for playing as a team, which it's always been like that. Like you get extra points, but I feel like there's going to be more now. At least that's what I'm hoping. Like I feel like this is what they mean. Like they're gonna maybe there's certain like with getting cosmetics. Like it's going to cost. I feel like it's going to be like mini missions, mini kill or like heal your team 5 times or whatever, something like that to like 100%. And like certain things like that allow you to get this in-game currency, if there's even any in-game currency or like whatever the point system is. Like I feel like that's what they mean. Like they really want you to work together. They're really going to push that, and I really hope that's what they are going for, because me and Brad talked about before, like I think one of the issues with Battlefield is that a lot of people tend to be a lone wolf unless you're playing with your friends. And I wish there was some way to remedy that. And I don't know if there is a way to remedy that. I mean, you try to put all these different aspects in that makes people kind of more or less forces them to play together, but that doesn't always work. People will be people.
I like how too in the trailer they showed that the girl like jumping on the ground and like proning backwards as she was shooting at people.
Yeah.
That's an actual gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, so you could move in any way. I think there's a dodge mechanic as well now, where you can kind of like just move out of the way right, move out of the way left.
Yeah, like when they fling yourself out the window, like that's a mechanic that you can do.
Right,
you can hit the ground, your soldiers will take damage, but they survive. They just tuck and roll and get back into the fight. So there's like a lot more animations than just like I'm gonna go up. I still remember, I love how like back in Battlefield 2 you would go up and jump at a wall and you can never really jump over it. It was all like glitchy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and now they like have gone so far as to like, let's add roll mechanics and let's add like these jump features and let's add these different freedoms of fluidity of motion and stuff like that. So that's really interesting that they're taking that into consideration. But yeah, what I'm really interested to learn more about with this game is going to be the map design. Like I saw there's some concept art out there. If you like go look up like Jack Frags and things like that, you can find concept art of the different maps that they revealed, and the maps look really cool. Like the concept art of the maps. Like I'm anxious to see how those play out. I'm really anxious to see how this global operations comes together, and if it is something that keeps you engaged long term. Because the thing with operations now is it gets really frustrating because like if the tide of war is not going in your favor, like it's just a pain in the ass to like come back. But it sounds like with this, they have put some stuff in place that will allow you to not have that issue as much. I don't know what exactly that's going to be, but it sounds like it can. I mean, especially since it's like such a long-term battle.
Right. At least an hour long of gameplay.
Yeah, maybe they'll do something to where you don't feel like you're wasting time sitting in there for like a full hour or 2 hours or whatever the timeline will be. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to this, and I want to know.
This really could revive Battlefield, like in a big way, and hopefully that they'll carry. If it is as great as I think it might be, I hope they'll carry it forward to. Like I'm pretty sure the next game will be present day. I feel like that's just where it's going.
Yeah,
we hit World War I, we're hitting World War II, and now we're gonna go like present day, or maybe something like in the 90s. Something like that, like not Fallujah. Is it Fallujah? No, that was 2000.
Desert Storm.
Yeah,
Iraq.
Desert Storm. Thank you. Yeah.
Kuwait.
Something like that. I don't know. I feel like this could be a big set for Battlefield and the way everything's played. Like everything feels tighter. more of what I think it's been missing, and I think people will enjoy it.
I really want them to go back to Vietnam. Battlefield Vietnam was such a good game.
That too. That might be where they're going. I don't know. Maybe. That makes sense for them to hit Battle.
That would make sense if they go with Battlefield 6 and they call it VI, Vietnam, VI. I mean, heck yeah, it's just setting itself up for perfection. So it's there. It's there.
So Brett thought it was Battlefield Vietnam, which I completely understand.
Yeah. I just want anybody to make. I want Call of Duty to make Battlefield Vietnam. I wanted them to make Battlefield Vietnam, but nobody will make that game. Bring it back. It was good.
Yeah.
All that freaking intense jungle warfare and flying the Huey helicopter around, and gosh, it was so good. So good.
I think that's all we got, man.
I think so too. So E3 is coming up very soon, so we're gonna have a lot more content in regards to that.
Stay tuned.
I'm sure they're gonna have all kinds of multiplayer videos and things of that nature.
I don't know if we're streaming yet, but we may be streaming. So follow us on Twitch at twitch.com/InnerGamerCast.
Twitch.tv/TheInnerGamerCast.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, yep.
I still don't know our social channels.
No, just go to theinnergamer.net. They're all there. They're just links. You just click on them, and it'll take you to places. It's really cool. It's like a new technology that we developed.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. That concludes our discussion topic this week. If there's something you want to hear us talk about, please email us at hello@theinnergamer.net. Also, don't forget to head over to youtube.com/innergamer to watch clips of this discussion that are broken up into categories that are very digestible and easy to understand and share with your friends.
2, 3,
share them on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, all those good things. If you're a Patreon subscriber at $3 or more per month, you get the entire discussion in video format in all of its glory and beauty and HD quality. That's not quite 4K, but almost 4K. If you want to be Austin and say that you have a 4K monitor, we really have 2K. Just kidding. I like to spread that. He's like, I'm just done. I'm done. I'm never gonna let you live that down. Never ever.
I'm back.
You're back. Welcome back. Yeah. So if you're watching this, make sure you head over to theinnergamer.net and check out our podcast of this episode every Tuesday at you can get it on Google Play, you can get it on Apple iTunes podcast thing, whatever that's called. You can get on Stitcher, you can get on Spotify, all that good stuff. And make sure you subscribe over that area somewhere. Make sure you watch our other videos over here somewhere. And then make sure you click on the like button to say that you like this video. Maybe click on that share button to share it to your Facebook or your Twitter or any other social channel that you might think is necessary.
Chances are, if you're watching this full video, you've already subscribed, you've already liked, and we appreciate the time and the money for you enjoying our content. Thank you.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Head on over to theinnergamer.net for our full podcast episode for our weekly game impressions and top headlines of the week.
That's one of me doing an interview. Here's one of all of us. We'll make some cool
things.
Brett's also right here.
Like this video, subscribe, keep up with all the latest video game news and opinions that you care about right here on The Inner Gamer.